Zakiah and Professor Jenkins, Experiment 1, the Vitamin C Project.
Hi, I'm Professor Jenkins, and I'm ready to walk you through the entire Zakiah and Professor Jenkins experiment. So get yourself together. Make sure you get your copy of Zakiah and Professor Jenkins, and you become my research student. For now, this video is just going to walk you through how to do the entire experiment that Zakiah is doing with me. You're about to do it with me too. All right, first, step one, let's put on goggles if you have them. And then it's nice if you have a lab coat. So if you have a lab coat, put that on also. So step one is going to be to gather your supplies. Pause here. And if you have the actual chemistry experiment equipment, go ahead and gather those things. You can order them from Amazon.com, or you can pick up a lot of the materials from your local grocery store, okay? Or even Walmart somewhere. So pause right here, and if you don't have the graduated cylinders and all of the regular chemistry supplies, then you're going to be able to do the same experiment with just household equipment, okay? You can do this. Gather your supplies and gather them now. I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm geeked. I don't know. I just love this stuff. You're going to love it too. Step 2, we're going to label cups 1, 2, and 3, just like you see me doing right there. Just get a permanent marker and label the cups 1, 2, and 3. Easy breezy. So for step 3, go ahead and do that underneath your kitchen exhaust fan. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can just spray the starch, put on a face mask, okay? And just spray the starch into the cup for 15 seconds. Watch me do it, and then you do it. Let's go.
In the smaller video on top, this is assuming that you may not have a kitchen exhaust fan. So simply spray directly into a cup away from your face with the face mask on.
So in step 4, the first thing I do is take a little hydrogen peroxide and I put it in an extra cup first so that I can transfer the peroxide easily from the cup to my graduated cylinder. So watch what I do next. So what I'm doing now is I'm pouring the hydrogen peroxide from the cup into the graduated cylinder. Now what I want to do is pour it into the graduated cylinder until I get to 30 milliliters. So you look at the markings on the graduated cylinder and you'll see numbers 10, 20, 30. You're going to pour the hydrogen peroxide into the graduated cylinder until the liquid reaches 30 milliliters. Now the best way to do this is to pour the hydrogen peroxide into the graduated cylinder and stop just before the hydrogen peroxide reaches the 30 milliliter line, right? Because you don't want to go over 30 milliliters. Then you use the little plastic pipettes, okay? And you're going to see me use that in a minute. These little plastic pipettes. And then you add the hydrogen peroxide to the graduated cylinder drop by drop. And you kind of have to get down eye level to the graduated cylinder right at that 30 milliliter mark, right? So you can add hydrogen peroxide to the graduated cylinder until you get right at the 30 milliliter mark. You don't want to go over and you don't want to go under, okay? You want to be exactly as precise as you possibly can. Now in the little inset, you see the little small video that's off to the side. If you don't have a graduated cylinder, you're going to use tablespoons. So in that case, you're just going to do 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide into cups 1, 2, and 3. Got it? Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for cup 2. So for cup 2, you're either going to add 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide, or you're going to add 30 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. So you'll use the graduated cylinder to do it, or you use the tablespoon to do it. You got this? Go now.
So now follow the same procedure for cup 3 as you did for cups 1 and 2. Step 5, let's label cups A, B, and C.
All right, step 6. Step 6, we're going to put orange juice into cups A, B, and C. Now, you're going to put 40 milliliters of orange juice into each cup. All right, start with cup 1, 40 milliliters of orange juice. If you don't have a graduated cylinder, put 3 tablespoons of orange juice in cups A, B, and C.
In the smaller video, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of orange juice to cup A.
In cup B, I'm putting 40 milliliters of orange juice if I have the graduated cylinder, or 3 tablespoons of orange juice into cup B. Now into cup C, what are you going to do? You're going to put 40 milliliters of orange juice, or 3 tablespoons of orange juice into cup C. So in step 7, you're going to all need a dropper, okay? Either a little plastic pipette dropper or some kind of eyedropper you have around the house. And you're going to put 20 drops of iodine into cups A, B, and C. All right, watch me do it, then you do it. Okay, are you ready? We're getting ready to start this chemical reaction. All right, so this is what's going to happen. So you're going to pour cup A into cup 1. Now, if there's no vitamin C in the orange juice, then when you pour cup A into cup 1, the liquid in cup 1 will turn blue immediately. But if there's vitamin C in that orange juice, which we suspect that there is, then the solution or the orange juice will take a while before it just automatically just turns blue. That's what's going to happen. So what you're going to do is as soon as you add cup A to cup 1, you time how long it takes for the liquid in cup 1 to turn blue. Now, the more vitamin C in the orange juice, the longer it's going to take for that cup to turn blue, or for the liquid in the cup to turn blue. So here in this step, notice that I also have a smaller video, because in that video, I'm actually setting my cup on something called a magnetic stirrer. So if you've ordered that magnetic stirrer, then you will use that and follow that little small video. Okay, that's kind of fun to watch. And you can YouTube how to use a magnetic stirrer. Now, otherwise, then you just do what I just did and pour cup A into cup 1 and hit go on your timer. Now, don't worry about the little buzzer over there. That's just for fun if you want to use that. Now, as you can see, I stop the timer as soon as I see the entire cup go to a faint blue. And then if you watch, it'll go all the way to dark blue. Stop that timer and then write down the time that you got for cup 1. So step 9, pour cup B into cup 2, hit go on the timer, and hit stop as soon as the entire cup, turns a faint blue. Okay, step 10, pour cup C into cup 3, hit go on the timer. As soon as that cup turns blue, hit stop on the timer and record your time. So you're setting up step 11. So in step 11, you have cup 4 and cup D, right? And so in cup 4, you sprayed your starch, and you put your hydrogen peroxide in there just like I did in the video, and then in 40 milliliters of water and then 20 drops of iodine, and then mix the cups and see what happens. So what happened? What happened? And what does it mean? We're done with the experiment. Now we got to clean up, okay? But before we clean up, we need to neutralize those chemicals. I'm going to turn all the blue chemicals back to orange, like orange juice. So the simplest way to do that is just to add orange juice to all the blue chemicals. So you can mix all the chemicals up again and pour orange juice into the blue chemicals until they turn back orange. Wash up all of your supplies, wash and clean up your hands, secure all of your equipment away, and then let's analyze and graph the data. In step 14 and 15, we're going to analyze the data. Go ahead and open up an Excel file. If you don't have Excel, try going to your local library and using computers there. Typically, they'll have programs like Word and Excel. So as you can see here, I open up an Excel file, open up a new sheet, and once you get to that new sheet, what you're going to do is enter your data into columns A and B. So do what I'm doing, just type it in, type cups, and type seconds into the second column, and then go down, type cup 1, cup 2, cup 3. Okay, I'm following along with my computer here. And then in the second column there, go ahead and type the time. So I'm putting in the times that I got, 85, 90, and 75. I'm just kind of making this up. All right. Now I'm going to format, what I call format, make it look pretty. So you see me go to the bold, the B for bold. I just made cups and seconds bold so I can see it easier there. Okay. And then I'm going to move them to the center. So that's what I did over there. If you just follow what I'm doing, you don't have to do all that, but it makes it easier to read. Okay. Now I left click and highlight those two columns. So you see how I did that? There you go. It's a little bit bigger there now. And then go to insert at the top that icon. You can see in the top of the bar there, what I'm trying to show you. Go there, insert. And after you go to insert, scroll over or move way over. You see where my cursor is. Go to the first bar graph and you're going to see it pop up. So that's your bar graph. So I'm going to make it bigger right here. Okay, and I'm sliding it around. You can take your cursor and move it around. And so if you take your cursor, you see how it makes a little X there. You can pull it and make it bigger. Now I'm going to go, you see that says quick layout? You can click on that, and if you select any one of those layouts, it changes the appearance of your bar graph. So here's the deal. You can do a poster presentation with just this simple research project. This is an actual poster presentation of the entire Zakiah and Professor Jenkins research project. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you watch the description below and look for links for that poster, because I'm going to make that poster available for you. You can use my template and create your own. Just edit it, put your name on it, put your data, put your pictures, reword it a little if you like, and use this for a local science fair.
So now, when you're giving a poster presentation, the very first thing you want to make sure you do is write a very good introduction. That introduction is a summary of your entire research project. Then you're going to write a method. The method is just describing what you did step by step in the experiment. Now, the data section should simply be a bunch of pictures and graphs. This is where everyone can just visualize what you did. In the discussion section, you simply want to describe your data and results. So just go back to your pictures and your graphs in the data section and describe it, so that when people look at your pictures, they can also look at your discussion, and the discussion will explain what the pictures and the graphs mean. In the conclusion, you simply are going to state whether or not your hypothesis was correct or incorrect. You also might want to state any kind of future things you want to do with this experiment. What could you do next?